Hello students. So in the previous video we did exercise 1.3 up to question number 6. So today we're going to start from question number 7. So the question number 7, if you see, is that in a class test containing 10 questions. So there in a class test there is a 10 questions. Then what is the next part? That 5 marks are awarded for every correct answers. Means if a student attempts the right answers, then the 5 marks will be awarded, and if the student attempts the incorrect answers, so minus 2 marks will be deducted, and 0 marks for the not attempting any questions. Clear? 0 marks for not attempting any questions. So there are 3 parts. Okay, there are 3 persons and they are attempting different types of the questions. Some are attempting 4 and 6 incorrect, 5 correct and 5 incorrect, 2 correct and 5. You have to tell their total score. So we'll start. Okay, so first of all we write down the common information. So if you see, we write down the common information. The common information is that the total number of question is what? How much? 10. The marks awarded for every correct answer is 5. The marks deducted or awarded for every incorrect answer is minus 2. Marks awarded for not attempting the questions is 0. Now first part. In the first part the person is Mohan. So he attempted 4 correct answers. He attempted 4 correct answers. So that means total marks given for 4 correct answers will be what? 4 into 5. Because for 1 correct answer it is 5. Clear? For 1 correct answer it is 5. So for 4 correct answer it will be 20. The number of questions wrong answers he attempted is 6. Total wrong answers attempted is 6. But if you see that for 1 wrong answer, how many marks awarded? Minus 2. So that means for total marks given for the 6 wrong answers will be your 6 into minus 2. That is minus 12. So this is for the 4 correct answers. This will be for the 6 incorrect answers. The total score will be this plus this. That means 20 minus 12, 8. Clear? Now the second part. Second part, the other person is Reshma, and what is the condition given? She attempted 6 correct answers or 5 correct answers. So number of correct answers attempted 5. So total marks given for the correct answers will be 5 into 5, because 5 is for 1 correct answer and she attempted 5 correct. So 5 into 5, 25. Number of wrong answers she attempted, that is also 5. But so the marks given for the 5 wrong answers will be 5 into minus 2, because minus 2 is for the 1 incorrect answer. That means 5 into minus 2, that is minus 10. So the total score is what? 25 minus 10. Addition of these two. Okay. Correct and incorrect. That will come 15. Now the third person. Third person is your Hina, and she attempted 2 correct answers. So number of marks given for the correct answers will be what? 2 into 5, because 5 is for the 1 correct answer. 2 into 5, 10. Number of the wrong answers she attempted 5. And the marks given for the 5 wrong answers will be what? Minus 2 into 5, because minus 2 is for the 1 incorrect. She attempted 5. So minus 2 into 5, minus 10. Clear? So total marks she will get the addition of these two. So addition of these two is what? Hence Hina's total score equals to 10 minus 10, 0. Clear? So here we ended our question number 7. Now we'll see the question number 8. So if you see the question number 8, there is a company which earns a profit of rupees 8 per bag of white cement sold. Because the company is selling the 2 types of this bags. One is white cement sold, another is a grey cement bag sold. So on selling the white cement bag, for 1 bag, the company is earning a profit of rupees 5. But on selling the grey cement bag, the company is incurring a rupees 5. Means company is suffering a loss of rupees 5. So first question is that if a company sells 3000 bags of white cement and 5000 bags of the grey cement, so what is the profit or loss? We have to check whether it is a profit or loss. So how we'll see? Okay, so first of all write down the common information. Common information is that profit earned on selling 1 bag of white cement is rupees 8, which is given in the question. Clear? If you see in the question it is given 5. Now next is that loss incurred on selling the 1 bag of grey cement. So means loss suffered or incurred on selling the 1 grey bag is what? Minus rupees 5. Because we know that profit is always noted by plus and loss is always noted by minus. Now A part, which we just read out, that number of white cement bags sold was how much? 3000. So the total profit earned on 3000 bags will be 3000 into 8, because on one bag it is 8. So total profit earned on 3000 bags will be 3000 into 8, 24. Okay, 24,000. It is 1000. Okay. Okay. So number of gray cement bags sold. Number of gray cement bags sold is how much? 5000. Okay. It is 5000. And so the loss suffered on selling 5000 bags of gray cement is what? 5000 to minus 5, because on selling with the one gray cement bag it is minus 5. So total loss will be minus 25,000. Clear? So now I have to check whether total profit or loss. So we'll add these two, 24,000 plus minus 25,000. Plus minus becomes minus, so 24,000 minus 25,000, it will be minus 1,000. Since it is coming minus 1,000, so it is a profit or a loss? It is a loss. Loss of how much? It is a loss of, therefore the loss of 1,000 rupees will be incurred by the company. Okay, the company will face a loss of rupees 1,000. Okay, now the question, the B part of this will be, if you see, the B part is what? If the number of the white cement bags, what is the number of the white cement bag it must sell to have neither profit nor loss. Neither profit nor loss means if you do the total transaction profit plus loss, it will be zero, nothing, not in negative, not in positive. So if the number of gray cement bags sold is 6400, so how we'll solve this? Since the white cement bag is not given, we'll take it as X. So let the number of the white cement bags sold be X, because it is not given. So profit earned on the X bags of white cement, on this is the X. So on one bag, how much is the profit? 8. So total profit earned on X bag will be what? 8 into X, that will become 8X. That will be your 8X. Number of gray cement bags sold is how much? It is given in the question, that is 6400. And so the total loss suffered by the company on 6400 bags will be what? 6400 into minus 5, because minus 5 is for the one bag. So total is coming minus 32,000. Okay. So in a condition of no profit or no loss, because in the question given it is said that there should not be any profit or loss. So there should not be any profit or loss in which condition? When profit earned plus loss incurred equals to 0, means when profit and loss together is coming 0. So profit is what? 8x for all X number of bags sold, and loss is what? Minus 32,000. So this will be 8x plus in bracket minus 32,000 equals to 0. This plus minus becomes minus, so it becomes 32,000. So this minus 32,000 will go to that side, it will become 32,000 in plus. Now this is a linear equation. I know you will not get this, but right now you just have to learn this, that when anything will be shifted from this side to the other side, sign will change. It is minus, so it will become plus. If it is plus, it will become minus. If it is division, it will become multiplication. If it is multiplication on this side, it will become division on that side. Just for up to this chapter, you will keep this in your mind, because we are going to discuss this when we do the chapter linear equations. So this will go to that side, it will come 32,000 in the plus. Now here, this 8 is in the multiplication, that will go to that side in the denominator. So we will get 32,000 by 8. So you will get X equals to 4,000. So that means how much number of bags should be sold? 4,000 bags of white cement must be sold to have neither profit nor loss. Clear? To have neither profit nor loss. Now, the last question of the exercise, that is this: replace the blank with an integer to make it as a true statement. We have to replace this with an integer to make it a true statement. So what we'll do here, if you see, minus 3 into 27. So this is minus 3 and this is plus 27. That means by which number we have to multiply? We have to multiply by minus 9. We'll write down this in a bracket. This is 5 and this is minus 35. This is plus and this is coming negative. That means this has to be multiplied by minus 7. This is minus 8 and this is minus 56. That means minus is already there and this is minus. That means we have to multiply by positive number, because one positive and one negative will always give negative, like here. 2 negative will give plus. Okay. So that means what number? 7. Minus and this is plus. That means we both have to be minus, and this is 132. By which number we will multiply 12 to get 132? That is 11. But this is minus 12, so that means it has to be minus 11. Clear? It has to be minus 11 into minus 12. That will be your positive 132. So here we finished our exercise 1.3. So now the next is the division of the integers. Now we'll discuss the division of the integers. Next exercise is based on the division of the integer. Today I'm just going to tell you the rules for the division of integers. Okay, these are very simple because other properties are already studied in the multiplications and the additions of the integers. So division of the integers. So division of the integer is that there are two conditions. When the both the positive numbers will be divided, like this case 8 by 2, or both negative, just like this minus 18 by minus 6. So first we read out, when we divide a positive integer by a positive integer, like in this case 8 by 2 or 27 by 7, or a negative integer by negative integer, like this minus 18 by minus 6, or this minus 10 by minus 5, negative by negative or positive by positive. So when we divide a positive by positive integer or a negative integer by negative integer, we divide them as a whole number. We simply divide them, like 8 by 2, 4, 21 by 7, 3, minus 18 by 6, 3, 10 by 5, 2. So we divide them as a whole number and put the positive sign before the question. So if you see, this is positive, this is positive, this is positive, and this is positive. So clear? Means when positive divided by positive, answer will come positive, or negative divided by negative, answer will come positive. Okay, because positive very simple, and two negatives divided is also a positive. Like in the case of the multiplication, when we multiply the two negatives, answer is coming positive. The rule second, when we divide a positive integer by a negative integer, means when one is your positive and one is your negative. Positive by a negative means like this was positive by negative, 12 by minus 3, or negative by positive means first can be negative or second one will be the positive, like minus 6 by 2. So when we divide positive by negative or negative by positive, means one of them will be positive and other will be negative. We divide them as whole numbers. Simply we divide them. So 12 divided by 3, 4, 6 divided by 2, 3. But we'll put the minus sign before the question, but we'll put the minus sign. So thus we get a negative integer. So that means if out of the two number, one is positive and one is negative, the answer will always come in the negative. Clear? Hope you understood this. So these are the two basic rules to divide the integers. Now the properties of the integers. Now in the properties of the integers, like in the properties of the properties of the integers under your divisions. Okay, under your division. Okay, properties of the integer under your division, like multiplication we have studied, additions we have studied, the closure property, the associative property, commutative property. So under the division, you know that closure property is not possible, neither the commutative property is possible, neither the associative property is possible, no property is possible. Okay, but I will going to discuss only the first one, because it is very common that commutative will not possible. Commutative, what that means? A divided by B is not equals to B divided by A. Okay, that means like this. Means 4 divided by 2 is 2. But 2 divided by 4 is what? 1 by 2, which is not possible. Okay, but I will discuss the closure property. Closure property is that if A and B are integers, means if we take any two integers and then we divide A by B, it's not always an integer. Like, but in other cases like A plus B, you take any two integers, you add them, answer is an integer. If you take any two integers, you will multiply them, it is an integer. If you take any two integers, you will subtract them, answer is an integer. But in the division, if you divide any two integers, it is not always a integer. It is not always a integers. Why? Because if you see here, 14 by 2, 7, it is true. 6 by 3, it is true. 0 by 5, it is true. But 5 by 0 is not possible. That means there will be many cases which are possible. Means all the cases it is coming true, but there is at least one case in which it is not true, because any number divided by 0 is not possible. It's not a integer, it is not possible. So that's why I can say that if any two numbers can be divided, that is not always a integer. Hence closure property for an integer is not possible. And this 5 by 0, that means number divided by 0 is not possible, becomes itself a property, which we can see in the next one. If you see, if A is an integer, we take A as an integer, then A divided by 0, that means A by 0. A divided by 0 or A equals to 0, both are the same thing. A divided by 0 is not defined, is not possible. It's not possible for any non-integers. Okay, For suppose any non-integer means non-zero integer. Non-zero means if the number is not zero. 0 divided by a or 0 divided by a in this form is always 0. Means a by 0 is not possible, but 0 by a is 0. Clear? Last one. If a is a non-zero integer, means we are not taking 0, any other integer, then a divided by a in this way or a divided by a in this way is always 1. Or a divided by 1 is what? A. These are the two properties. A divided by a is 1, means minus 4 divided by minus 4 is what? 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Here 5 divided by 1 is always 5. So a divided by 1 is a. Clear? Hope you understood this. So here we completed the properties of the divisions also. So in the next exercise, in the next video, we're going to do the exercise 1.4. So till then, take care. Bye.